Tana Mongeau stirs up beef like a cook serving sloppy joes. But behind all the feuds is a surprisingly fascinating tale of highs and lows in the modern world of influencers. In June 2019, Tana Mongeau announced her engagement to YouTuber Jake Paul, whom she was first linked to in April of that year. But while the famous YouTuber was uber excited to share the good news, fans weren't entirely convinced, with many insisting it was a ruse to get more social media engagement. Mongeau was quick to shut down the rumor mill, insisting that her engagement to Paul was real. She wrote in response to one tweet, "It's not a joke, I'm engaged. Holy f***." Of course, it didn't help that Paul proposed to Mongeau with a diamond-looking ring, later revealed to be made from cubic zirconia and priced at $125. Mongeau and Paul cast even more doubt on the legitimacy of their relationship after getting married in July 2019 in a bizarre 10-minute Las Vegas ceremony. However, there was no need to wonder for too long. In January 2020, Paul and Mongeau announced their separation. She wrote in part on her Instagram, "I'll never know what the future holds, and I will always love Jake and everything we did." Later that year, Paul confirmed to Entertainment Tonight that his engagement and subsequent wedding to Mongeau was staged, saying, "We all do things sometimes, and sometimes you end up getting fake married, so I'll leave it at that." Mongeau had a bone to pick with VidCon. In 2016 and 2017, the annual YouTuber conference didn't provide her with a featured creator badge. And in a nearly 80-minute video called "Why I Won't Be Attending VidCon 2018, a Rant," she explained that event security had forced her to leave after being mobbed by crowds and creating a safety hazard, a situation she claimed could have been avoided with said badge.
If I'm getting mobbed by hundreds of people that are at your event, why wouldn't you just give me a stupid little plastic badge that says featured creator?
In protest, Mongeau created TanaCon, a rival convention set to take place the same weekend as VidCon. However, it was an unmitigated disaster. According to The Verge, it was labeled the new Fyre Fest. Scheduling conflicts abounded. The venue was way over capacity, and thousands of attendees were stuck outside without food, water, or shelter from the sun.
We stood 3 hours in the heat just to be told to go home and check back tomorrow.
A year later, Mongeau told Paper Magazine, "I think in the moment I was so excited for it to be a real possibility, and I definitely was harboring a lot of really negative emotions toward VidCon, just thinking in a really unhealthy way." As for how she felt about TanaCon with the luxury of hindsight, she said, "Wow, this was a giant mistake with so many of the wrong intentions."
You can't prepare things overnight like that.
Yeah.
And expect them to be perfect.
Former Disney Channel actor Bella Thorne was first romantically linked to Mongeau in September 2017. However, their relationship was over a little over a year later. Thorne tweeted in February 2019, "Tana and I aren't together anymore. Please stop asking. We love you guys." Confirming their breakup, Mongeau shared alongside a broken heart emoji, "I love her forever, don't get that twisted. She changed my life forever. There's no negativity at all." In early June of that year, Mongeau publicly asked Thorne to take her back, but less than 2 weeks later, she announced her engagement to Jake Paul. Amicable split aside, Thorne didn't appear to take the news very well. The famous and love star posted a photo of herself with red crying eyes. Alongside dozens of crying emojis, she wrote in the caption, quote, "When your ex gets engaged." On the day that rapper Mac Miller died in September 2018, Mongeau posted a screenshot of a text conversation she'd had with him, writing in the caption, "You had this love for life and what you do that made me fall for you 10 times harder. I wanted to come over last night. My soul is shattered. What I would do for you to tuck my hair behind my ear and kiss me one last time." Mongeau later sent out a follow-up tweet suggesting that she and the rapper had shared a secret relationship, which led many to believe she was using Miller's death to bring attention to herself. One unimpressed user on X commented, "Tana Mongeau saying she dated Mac Miller and in the process making his death about her is the biggest reach of 2018. Sit back down, please." Responding to the backlash, Mongeau clarified her posts, noting that she meant well and her intentions had been misunderstood.
Everything I ever posted was because I wanted the world to see him for who he truly was, which was an incredible human being.
In 2017, Tana Mongeau called out YouTuber iDubbbz for his infamous propensity for using racist and inflammatory language on his channel. In retaliation, iDubbbz crashed Mongeau's January 2017 meet and greet, prompting her to say a racial slur while posing for a picture. Though he was eventually escorted out of the event, iDubbbz wasn't done. Taking to YouTube the following month, iDubbbz shared a compilation of tweets and clips that showed Mojo using racial slurs. Consequently, the canceled podcast host responded to iDubbbz's video, admitting to fans that she'd made some mistakes. She tweeted, "I've made so many mistakes, and even at 18, I'm still trying to learn. I intend on owning up to everything and hoping you'll forgive me." In May 2023, the beef between the two YouTubers took a turn for the better when iDubbbz publicly apologized to Mojo and his fans for some of his previous content.
I particularly want to apologize to Tana. Tana, I'm sorry. I should have never made that video.
Not content with simply being a YouTube personality, Mojo began to expand her entertainment horizons in 2019. In addition to trying her hand at acting in a murder mystery competition web series, Escape the Night, she also struck a deal with Viacom Digital Studios for her own show, MTV No Filter, Tana Turns 21. Adding to her on-screen prospects, Mojo has been making that money move through other lucrative projects, like branded merchandise and paid sponsorships. Luckily for the social media personality, all of this has been paying off big time in her bank account. Social Blade reported in 2019 that she could be raking in $148,500 per month from her channel alone. Meanwhile, the statistics website estimated that Mojo was potentially generating up to $1,800,000 per year in revenue. Well, you can't hate that. While many celebrities and influencers are coy about their political beliefs and alliances, Mojo puts them right out in the open. In July 2021, Mojo revealed during the debut episode of her canceled podcast that she had cut ties with Corinna Kampf, another YouTuber, who'd faced backlash for supporting Donald Trump in the 2020 US presidential election.
I was trying to help her get out of it, but then she was like, "No, but so what about my political views?" And I was like, maybe we shouldn't kick it as much.
Beyond unfriending Trump supporters, Mojo has previously declared her support for the Democratic Party, while also advocating for her fans to vote for Joe Biden in the 2020 election. Taking to X, Mojo wrote in a since-deleted October 2020 tweet, "If you send me proof you voted for Biden, I'll send you a nude for free." She later clarified to Business Insider that while she was a Biden supporter, her tweet was only meant as a joke, saying, "Obviously, no one needs an explicit photo of me to go vote and make a change in our country. As much as I love Biden, I am not telling anyone who to vote for." In August 2023, Mojo opened up about an unpleasant time at a wine house during a trip to France. In an episode of Cancelled with Tana Mongeau, the YouTuber recounted an experience, noting that their tour guide did not inform them beforehand that they would have to walk during the tour. Mojo, who had been drinking into the early hours of the morning, also complained about not getting any wine during the tour, something she also blamed on the guide. In the episode, she said, I absolutely want her dead. At the hands of me." Unsurprisingly, Mojo's words came at a big cost. Shortly after the podcast episode was released, Babbel, a language learning platform sponsoring Cancelled, announced that they would be cutting ties with Mojo. The tour guide responded to the allegations with proof that she had sent details of the tour to Mojo's friend that said, "You should bring a bottle of water and wear comfortable walking shoes. Casual clothes, layers. It will be chilly in the cellars." In a direct statement to NBC News, the tour guide also defended herself, claiming she had tried to remain as professional as possible while dealing with Mojo on the wine tour. In June 2022, Mojo stirred up a feud with TikToker Mads Lewis following the tragic death of Cooper Noriega. As tributes to the 19-year-old poured in, fans created a video montage using music from his best friend, musician Jaden Hossler. Mads, who had previously dated Hossler, wrote in a since-deleted tweet, "Please stop using Jaden's music over edits of Cooper. It's disrespectful. You're a hypocrite, Jaden. A hypocrite." Mojo quickly hopped in on the drama, retweeting Lewis's post and writing, quote, "Who tweets this?" The situation escalated when Mads called out Mojo on the BFFs podcast in 2023.
I don't have beef with Tana. She just switches up on people.
In response, Mojo fired back during an episode of her canceled podcast, explaining that she and Lewis were acquaintances at best.
Respectfully, Mads, you don't know me well enough to know what me switching up would look like.
While it's unclear where the two stand now, Lewis was spotted at Mojo's Halloween party back in October 2023. In 2023, Mojo found herself in the headlines again after her former friend and fellow social media personality Bryce Hall revealed that he'd slept with the canceled podcast host to gain social status. Hall recounted on the Zach Sang Show,
"We were feeling each other, but I knew who she was, obviously, and I was like an up-and-coming guy."
In a different podcast appearance, Hall described Mojo as fake, adding that he was no fan of hers. Expectedly, Mojo responded to Hall's comments, explaining that she would have never gone public with the reason behind their intimate relationship in such a way.
That frustrates me because I like to clout farm, but like, I'm only ever going to talk about someone I hooked up with if it's public knowledge or if they talk about it first.
Apparently, it's all water under the bridge now. After beating Hall on Celebrity Poker Tour, Mojo said on Canceled that they were good.
Bryce and I are cool now. It was more just a principle thing.
Mojo's relationship with Jake Paul and Bella Thorne might have made tabloid headlines, but the YouTuber's dating history extends beyond these two. Between 2015 and 2017, Mojo dated internet personality Summer Hollingsworth before going on to start a relationship with Brad Souza. The podcast host later admitted to using Souza as a rebound to get over a previous fling with Hunter Moreno. She also revealed that Souza had cheated on her. Mojo also briefly dated rapper Lil Xan, who reportedly cheated on her too. After the end of her relationship with Bella Thorne, the YouTuber apparently dated Thorne's ex and previous throuple partner, Mod Sun. But while Mojo has had a number of short-lived romances through the years, the popular influencer is not giving up in the love department just yet. In December 2023, the canceled host went Instagram official with a new boyfriend named Makoa.